Hey, Bree here with Ginger in the Desert Creations. Today I am going to repurpose a very weathered TV tray table. And that's the first time I've been able to say that in several tries. So let's go paint.
Okay, so this right here is our before. This is a TV tray sort of thing that used to be at my aunt's house. And it has seen better days, but it is at my house now. And I shall be painting this sucker. I was originally going to block off the legs so that they won't get paint on them, but the legs don't look any better than the top does, so that's going to end up being painted a solid color of my choosing at a later date anyway. So that's why I'm not worried about that. But I am going to take my hand done to just so, practice saying that. And I'm going to use this little paw here, and maybe the other one too, and spread some on there, and then I am going to sand it, and then I am going to paint it. And I'm going to paint it on a day when I will not be painting the day afterwards because I'm going to get a lot of wet paint on my floor. So, hello, awkward camera angle, weird lighting, and anything else you got. We are going to be painting our little tray table here. I've done my best to get it level, and that has meant rigging a couple of paint caps to two of the feet because it is facing this way. And we don't want it to be, because everything would slide off this way. But anyway, we have to do the best we can when we are reimagining furniture, right? Sure. We are going to be working with Marte white. We've got a fair bit of that because I want this to have a lot of white in it. Chroma Molten Metals Xanadu Gold. This is the first time I've been working with the Chroma Molten Metals in the Xanadu Gold. I think I have Xanadu Gold for something else, but folk art, something like that. But this is the first time I've used the Chroma Molten Metals, and I'm going to trip all over those words. How about it? Mont Brilliant Red. Chroma Molten Metals Plum Purple. And a nice bit of Mont Black. Now I have made my metallics thicker than normal. They suggest you make them thicker so that they show up better. These are quite thick, actually. But we're going to see what happens. Quite thick. I kind of don't think they should be this thick, but we're going to see. And here's an example of the regular paint. The regular paint is probably half as thick as the gold. I'm going to start with some gold. I'm pouring down the opposite side of where I'm going to be pouring the real pour from. That will change the way that it looks a little bit. You can change depending on whether you've poured from the back, poured from the sides, or poured from the place with the pour spout, or the side that you're going to pour from if you don't have a pour spout, which some people don't. Look at that reacting. Probably didn't really intend to dirty pour that one, but that's okay. A little bit more white on top of it. Now the dirty pour, of course, is when you pour from up high and get them to mix in. You can get different effects by pouring from up high and having them mix together, or pouring them and just letting them lay out on top like that has done with the purple. I'm gonna give it a touch more white. I'm gonna do a dainty drizzle of the black just across the whole top here. I want to spread it out and not have it be too prominent because I don't actually want this to be a very, very black piece. And it takes over quickly. So red. Actually, what I'm going to do now, because this is about 9 ounces, and we need about 12 ounces, I am going to pour the rest of these into the leftover white container here. So that's around 13-ish ounces of paint. Shall we just give both of them a tiny drizzle of black? More than a tiny. Put the rest of that away for later. Okay. Who wish me luck? I'm going to start with the little one. Get some where I can see some color going. Instead of a big block of black. Just kind of wander around. Now, of course, that one doesn't have much white in it because that was just the leftover of that cup. This one's the one that's got more white in it. Put some little, woo! I like the way that purple's playing. Yes, I do. We're just kind of doing a wandery thing, 'cause why not? Just gonna do all sorts of patterns. See what we come up with in the end. This looks very cool, but it's probably going to get lost. But it's all lacy and silly up in there. But so is this. Okay, I am going to do a little bit of strategic fill-in here. Okay, now I'm just gonna pour the rest of this around the edge because the white is intended to be something of a flow extender, as I said earlier. So I'm just going to pour it around Kiss it with some fire. Start off and pull it towards me. Let some of this stretch out, and it's going to be hard for you to stay in shot, isn't it? Yes, it is. Whoa, slippery. I am going to try to get rid of this big white blob that is just sitting in there, because that is not pleasing to the whole deal here. And there goes. Okay. Decide what we're going to do. What we want to try to keep, what we want to try to get rid of, what we want to try to open up better. Probably want to pull this white off the edge here. And pull this white off the edge here. Maybe try to pull it all this way, get rid of this soupiness that I just dripped in. Because I don't really like what that gold is doing with the black in there. And I kind of know that I don't like what black does with gold. And yet I will still put them together. It's doing fine up here though. It's just there where it's spread out. Okay, well, weight of the paint's already down here, so we will try to get rid of this corner the best we can. Oh my goodness, this is heavy. Okay, tip that off. So, say bye-bye to that corner, because that is gone now. Now we're going to shift it down this way, sort of shift that off, and see what we end up with. That's a bit of crazy. It is true, having thicker metallics does help it to show up better in the piece. A lot of the gold did not get lost in this one, unlike it usually does, so that is a good tip right there, is to have your metallics be thicker, maybe 50% thicker than the rest of your paints. Very cool. I was expecting a little bit more white to show up in this thing. And I know I tipped off most of what I had on purpose. But I still expected there to be more of it. I think I am going to choose to leave her alone and see what happens. because the things that I don't like about it are slowly changing just as I sit here and watch it. So it's going to do its own thing a little bit. Sort of feeling like I should have used my blue instead of the purple, but I'm a blue girl, so, you know, that kind of thing happens with me. I'm liking that there isn't anything too solid, but there's kind of this still chaotic line throughout and a little river of gold. Sort of undecided on this spot, but little like flecks and stuff are coming up in it, so yeah. This was more red that I recall, and it's more the purple is taken over, so we're going to see what that does. Yeah, I think I'm going to let it dry and we will see what it does. I'm going to scrape along the edge here, get the messiness off of that, so it doesn't necessarily keep pulling the paint off of the edge. And I will be painting that black anyway, because the whole thing has seen better days. Absolutely true. So yes, I think I'm liking it more the longer it sits. So yes, I want to see how it dries. You want to see how it wets? Let's see how it looks wet. Here we are. Have to contend with my shine a little bit. I'll try to maneuver around so you can see all of it between the shine, the glare, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty. I like what the red and black is doing. Kind of like this random river of gold. Just crazy what paint does. Oh, why am I not focused? Focus, damn you, focus. Come on. It's morning and you haven't had your coffee. I know, I know. I can't focus. It will not focus on the middle. You will see the middle when it is dry, because we cannot focus on the middle. I like that red playing in the purple. That's pretty cool. This gold and white here looks a little random to me, but if I try to get rid of it, it will not go well. So I'm going to leave it and hope I'll be happier with it at a later time. I like where we got all the color mixing over here. It's got some cool patterns going on. Yeah. I like it. Red, purple, and gold tray table. We'll see how it dries. Don't you love it when you think you're recording and you're really just talking to yourself? Yeah, that's fun. Anyway, dried TV tray table result thingy, if I can ever say it right. Right here. I am going to finish this little sucker with one of those spray-on clear car coat things, but I am going to do that outside because it is not good for the lungs, and I don't want it trapped in my basement. But take a look at all that went on here. It's got kind of a spacey feel to it, even though it's not in spacey colors. I've got a spacey feel to what I do, I guess. Kinda. All this up here, all lovely. Going slowly so we can take it all in. So yes, I'm going to take it outside, give it a spray, and hopefully we will have a bit of functional art that will last for a while. for uses of being a tray table. Hooray! I'm also going to paint the rest of it, the rest of it in black eventually, because the edge is kind of all just smeared on and got paint here and there, but that's seen better days anyway. So yeah, that will be what it will be. So thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Bye bye.